Hi everyone, welcome back to Beauty by Trish. Thank you guys so much for stopping in. Today I want to give you some tips and pointers that I have found very, very helpful to me in my journey into self-tanning. This is just here if you are, I'm just doing this video to help out those that are wanting to get into self-tanning, thinking about it. I didn't for a long time because back in the day, once again, and if anybody remembers this, leave me a comment down below. If anybody remembers Copper Tan's QT. Does anybody remember that? Talk about orange. I was orange. I was a beautiful orange. It turned me against self-tanning. This, in the past couple years, has been a whole new journey for me, but I've had fun with it. So I wanted to put together this video that would help you guys if you are interested. This is, I don't know if this is a disclaimer. If you are somebody that is very light-skinned, very, very pale, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I have no problem with being pale. My problem is my uneven skin tone. I'm really blotchy. I have that pink undertone that I get splotchy, like if I get worked up, I get these welts, and it just drives me crazy, especially when I film. So that is really why I like to self-tan. Not necessarily that I'm embarrassed because of my paleness, but I just wanted to put that out there. If you are fair-skinned, there's nothing wrong with that. If I did not have the blotchiness and I think it's because I don't notice it too much with people that are really, really fair that don't have that much pink in their skin. I have a lot of pink in my skin. So there's just so much unevenness and blotchiness, and yeah, you could, even with my tan, you can still see it starting right here. So let's get into this. If you'd like to see some pointers and tippers, if you'd like to see some points and tips that help me self-tan, then stay tuned. Okay, so first off, what you're going to do if you're going to dive into the world of self-tan, I would recommend that you choose what kind of self-tan you want. Some people really like to go and be spray tanned. Now, I am lucky that I have a salon. A friend of mine owns 3 salons, as a matter of fact, and she does the personalized spray tan where you put on the little paper bra and panties if you choose, and they spray you. Or she also has a new booth. This is her first year having it, and it is quite an extraordinary piece of equipment, I might add. I tried that once and I messed up. I mean, it was me, it wasn't the machine. I don't know if I held my hands wrong or didn't get enough of the stuff on them. My hands were all it was just horrible. The rest was fine, but it just, I'm too much of a control freak. I want to have control to put what I want where. I'm just being honest. But if you're wanting to do it at home, unless you invest in a compressor and your own spray tan endeavors, then, you know, you're going to go to either a Sephora, an Ulta, a Walmart, a Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and pick up some self-tanners. So they come in various ranges. If you are really, really, really fair and you're wanting to try a little color, you don't necessarily want a tan, you just want a little color, maybe coming into spring, then you might want to try a gradual self-tanner. Now, I know Saint-Tropez makes one, Jergens makes one. I think probably almost all brands make them now. These are very gradual. Even if you are very fair, I really would advise you to go ahead and get the medium to tan, because I have found personal experience, and I've heard other people say, get the light, then there is more tendencies to have that tangerine look. But I've always, when I get the Jergens, I sometimes use this as a tan extender. So I will get this, I get it in the medium to tan, medium to dark, however they label it, and I have not had a problem with it. Now you do have a bit of a smell with this. There's not a strong fragrance with this, but there is a mild fragrance. It's not something that you would be like, oh, I can't stand close to anybody because I'm going to smell, but you're going to be able to smell it, especially I think in the spring and summer when the temperature's a little hotter. But you might want to try something like this if you just want a little bit of color. The way I prefer to use this is, like I said, I like to use this as a tan extender. I have had this tan for 5 days now. And if I don't self-tan in the next couple days, I will probably put this on and use this as a tan extender. The reason I like to use this as a tan extender is because it gives you that little tiny hint of color to add to even out if your tan is starting to fade. It's not going to compete with the tan that you already have. So I do like to use daily moisturizers once in a while when I am wanting to just complement the tan I already have. So, okay, so before we get into actual self-tanners, there are the immediate bronzers that you can put on, and when you get in the shower, they are going to wash right off. I myself do not have any of those. I've never even tried those, to be honest, because my fear would be if I'm out and I get hot, is that going to come off on my clothes? Is it going to come off on me? I've never tried that, so I'm sure there's videos on here with people that have. I personally have not. So I'm just going to jump on into the self-tanners. Self-tanners come in a few different formulas. Let's start out with the lotions. I have the Saint-Tropez lotion. I have used this, I think, 2 times. I started out with the Saint-Tropez mousse, and then I went to the Saint-Tropez spray tan. Then I went to the spray. I tried the Saint-Tropez first because I heard so much about it. I watched reviews, and it seemed, because I have very pale pink skin, that this would be the best. It has kind of a greenish undertone to it. I love the color result I got from it, so I just kind of stuck with it. And I started thinking I should do reviews on self-tanners and share with my peeps. And then I had a couple people ask about it, so here it is. I do love the Saint-Tropez lotion. This is the Saint-Tropez mousse.
A lot of people prefer the mousse.
A lot of people prefer the mousse formula. They think that it's easier to go on, it's easier to use with the mitt, they get a better even application. If you really don't know which one to go with, I think a lot of it depends on your skin. If you have drier skin issues, then I would probably go with the lotion formula. If you want a faster drying tan, then I would go with a mousse because it is going to dry a good bit quicker than this is. And then we have the spray. I told you I was hooked on Saint-Tropez. I did get the self-tan dark in the Saint-Tropez because I wanted to try the dark versus the regular. Excuse me. Now, I really do like the spray. The spray is super easy. The smell with all of the Saint-Tropez is actually quite nice. It is by far the least tan smelling products that I have found. My favorite thing for the spray is the easy application, especially for my hands and my feet. Basically, I can use all 3 types and it not be an issue. This also dries very quick. So if you want something that is going to be really, really fast drying, then I would definitely choose one of these 2 over a lotion. Okay, so let's say you've selected which kind of tan you're going to use. You're either going to use the mousse, the spray, or the lotion. Before you even open that bottle, let's take care of business, okay? First off, I hope you have made it part of your daily routine just to moisturize your skin. The better your skin is moisturized, the better your tan's going to go on, the less streaky, the more natural, and the longer it will last. You don't have to spend $100 on a bottle of lotion. This is one of my favorite lotions. This is actually scent free. I got this because it was advanced repair. We've had a very cold, very brutal winter, and my skin was feeling it. So, because I do like the spray for my feet and for my hands, I wanted something that was a little more nourishing. I'll probably get the cocoa butter one as we get into spring and summer a little more. But do make sure that you are moisturizing your skin. Okay. In the shower, before you spray tan, it is very, very, very important that you shower and exfoliate. I did find out a tip when I went to get my spray tan. She asked me what kind of soap I used. It is much better to use a gel or a lotiony kind of a shower gel, shower cream. This is actually a cream on your skin. She said that they have found that bars, even something as gentle as a Dove bar or an Aveeno bar, is going to break down your tan. It's going to make it look splotchy, and it's going to make it fade quicker. I thought that was very interesting. So definitely, this was like $2 something at Walmart. Get you a shower gel or cream to use if you normally use a bar soap. Before you go in, now this is just how I do it. And we know I can be a little weird and go overboard with things. You definitely need an exfoliator. You can get them in all kinds. I do suggest before you do your first self-tan, especially coming out of winter, you get something that has a lot of grit. My daughter made me one that's homemade. You can find DIY recipes all over the internet for body scrubs. Or you can grab, I took this out of my Satin Hands kit with Mary Kay. It is very, very, very gritty. You can see how gritty it is. Whoa, let's not make a mess. You want something like that that you can put in your hands and really get in and exfoliate, especially your elbows, your knees, your ankles, the top of your feet, your hands. Get all that dead skin off. Now, after I get that all off and I rinse it really clean, I take my little poofy poof and I take my body wash and I wash myself. Because after you've gotten all that dead skin loose that didn't come off when you used the scrub, this is going to remove all that for you. So you are left with clean, fresh, beautiful skin, and it's going to make your application so much better. Okay, so let's get out of the shower. We've already exfoliated. We've washed our body after we've exfoliated. Now, you're going to take your lotion. Some people do full body lotion before they tan. I have not done that. I'm afraid that would alter the color a little bit. Maybe that's just in my own head, but I don't do that. I do take a pump of lotion, and I have chronically dry hands. I rub it into my hands really good. I rub my knees, my elbows. I usually have to get another pump. I do my ankles, the tops, and the sides of my feet. Make sure you get in between your fingers, get in between your toes. Rub all that in really, really good. Your toes also. And then I let that dry for a couple minutes. And then I get out my gloves. A lot of people really like the mitts that come or that you can buy additionally with your self-tanners. I would just rather use these. I'm not saying these aren't bad. They're just not for me. So I get the gloves out. I put them on. I get out. This is what I used last. I get this out, shake it up really good, and then I squirt a pump or two in my hand, rub it together, and I usually start I usually start right here. I rub it up my neck, rub it into my shoulders, around the back of your neck, up to your hairline. And then you're going to rub your hands together again. You're going to know that you have just a little bit left, not enough to go too much further. Just take that little bit and do your ears. Because if you have a nice tan and your ears are stark white, it's going to be kind of obvious, especially if you put your hair up. So take just that little bit of excess and put it around your ear, behind, you rub it in real good. That's why I prefer the gloves, because I can feel that I'm rubbing it in really, really good. And then you can go ahead, get another pump or two, do your arms, do your body, do your legs. Then I stop. Now, I have not done my face, I've not done my hands, I've not done my feet. I then get these bad boys. This is such an old bag. These are Equate Wedge Applicator Sponges. Now, I myself, when I do my cosmetics, whether it's myself or if I'm doing a client, I like the black ones. I just do. They look cleaner, because these, once you get makeup and stuff on them, they just look disgusting. So I like the black ones. But for this, I like the white ones because I want to see how much self-tanner I have on here. This, I take it, I do a half a pump. And then I go down and I start on my foot. And I'm doing my foot, I'm doing around my ankles, I'm doing all the way around my foot, down my toes. I go in between my toes a little bit, and it makes it such a nice natural tan. A lot of people, and I picked these up at the dollar store the other day because I have heard a couple people talk that they use these. And that would be fine if you use these, or if you want to try. Here's my worry, and I'll be able to tell you. My concern is that it's going to absorb so much more product than this does that you're going to waste it. But I am going to give these a try, and I will keep you updated on how that works. So then everything's done but my face and my hands. I normally do not self-tan my face, and you will see more as we get into the Get Ready With Me videos or the tutorials, that usually my neck and the rest of my body have a little bit of a tan, and my face is just white and pink and red. I did self-tan using this the other day because I'm reviewing this and I wanted to give you guys a good all over opinion on it. And it worked beautifully. It gave me a beautiful color. This is day 5 with this tan. It is still a nice tan. It's fading perfectly even. Like, you know how into October you look down and you realize that your tan is almost, that your tan is not as luminous as it was and that it's fading? That is the way this is fading. Beautifully natural, not blotchy, not streaky. It is a very nice product. I exfoliate my face so much. This only lasted like 2 days and it was gone. And that's about what all the other face tanners work. I do have a Saint Tropez that is just for my face, and it doesn't stay on any longer than anything else. So we're going to bypass the face because I usually don't tan my face. Now my hands. So what I do is, once again, I go in the bag, I grab a couple of these, do a little squirt after I've taken my gloves off, and I just start. Now with this product, this is a little trickier to spread than the Saint Tropez. The color is worth it. So I take this and say my gloves were right here. This does have a guard. I prefer tanning lotions, self-tanners, mousses, sprays, whatever, that do have a guard. I can see that my tan has stopped right here. So I take my sponge and I just start stippling my hand. I do all the way over like this. I make sure I get in here like this. Then I go onto my fingers and in between. That is the process I do. That's why I like these. I can see how much product I still have on them. With the black, of course, you can't see. Now, if your tan is starting to develop and you think, oh my goodness, you know, I got tan on my fingers when I was using my little wedge and now it's going to look ridiculous. It's going to look like I have baby poo on my fingers. They do make, this is a Saint-Tropez tan remover. I tried to use this the day after my spray tan, but I didn't read the directions. My fault. You have to use this within 4 hours of doing your tan. So this is a nice thing to have. I also got, I have not used these yet, but I got these from Sephora. They were $10. Bronze Buffer Self Tan Remover. And you are supposed to be able to wet this, dampen it, dampen this, and then go in and buff off where you want your tan mistake to be gone. I'll keep you updated on that. So that is my process as far as tanning. If you do want to use a tan extender because you are still depositing a little bit of a tint, or if you're wanting to use the Jergens Tan Builder, I would suggest a light exfoliation before you do that. By light exfoliation, I mean a lot of times I know Dove, I know Soft Soap, and there was another one that I knew in the I saw in the drugstore. They have mild exfoliators in them. They're not really abrasive. They're not as harsh as something like this. Use that very gently. Don't rub deep and hard because you're going to knock the rest of your tan off. But I would suggest a very mild exfoliation before you use too much of a tan extender also. Basically, as long as you moisturize 1 to 2 times a day, 2 at least if you have really dry skin, your tan is going to last and be beautiful. I am right now, I've used it 2 days. It is a tanning water from Sephora. And I actually think I'm able to tell a little bit of a difference. So I will let you know how that journey goes. But yeah, it is, in some ways, it's a little time consuming. The most time consuming thing is the drying time. And if you are an impatient person, then I really suggest you kind of head over towards the mousse or the spray tan versions. The lotion does take a little bit longer. It does feel a little bit tackier for longer when you do use the lotion. Smells are going to vary. The Saint-Tropez is really, it has a nice smell. Yeah, it has a really good smell. It's really, I don't mind the Saint-Tropez smell at all. This has more of a self-tanner smell. This is a little more difficult to get rubbed in evenly, but the color payoff. I mean, this is day 5 and I've done nothing but use lotion. So definitely been worth it with this. So I hope this was helpful. Leave me a comment down below if there's anything else that you would like to know. If there's anything that I forgot to cover, please just leave me a comment down below. I will make sure that I answer your questions or comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a blessed day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.